Hey guys, Robbie. I got a special guest here to say something.
Greetings, this is Wonder Woman. You are watching Pros versus Noobs.
Actually, Wendy, that's supposed to be pro teaches noobs. I know you like how to do, you like to do fighting and everything, but not everything's always.
And today, this is Azula from Avatar The Last Airbender. We're going to teach you how pros do things. They do it better than their brother. They're about to celebrate becoming an only child.
Yeah, I hear you say that a lot, Azula.
Yeah, noobs are just twerps and they all need to go to bed. They sure are. I can't stand a noob. You know who's a noob? Billy from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I can't stand that guy. But he is my best friend, so whatever.
Oh, way to go, Mandy. So, yeah. What they said. Welcome to Pro Teaches Noobs. Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teaches Noobs. Today with me, Jared.
I'm feeling hopeful.
Yep. And today we're doing another take two as we go over Superman, the Last Family of Krypton. It was written by a pre-crisis writer, one of the show's more prominent ones, Cary Bates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you probably recognize that name at least. He's the one.
Yeah, it sounds vaguely familiar.
He gave us Power Armor Lex.
Oh, okay, I see.
And the Lexor stuff and everything. That's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, so this was sorry, I got the dog here. Ruby, come here. Sit. Knock it off. Knock it off, girl. He's about to become a guest star on my show. But this was an attempt that they were going to restart the Elseworld brand. Didn't last.
I see.
I would say the current stuff is lasting a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. So this is basically asking the big question: what if Jor-El Lara actually came to Earth with Kal?
Didn't they kind of do a concept like this in Dark Knights of Steel?
Yes. Well, yeah, but it was also a different point in time of arriving.
That too, yeah.
This is them arriving in the present day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and basically this is kind of ticked with the traditional Krypton.
Mm-hmm.
Just a sec. But yeah, so and now this cover kind of fools you with how the interior. He looks very Alex Ross-ish.
It does. Because remember, it's like after Alex Ross, a lot of artists tried to like imitate what he was doing.
This is probably one of the closest to nail it.
I
would almost mistake it for him.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah, if you didn't tell me it wasn't Alex Ross, I would think it's Alex Ross.
Yep, but yeah, the interior artwork I've already shown Jared ahead of time. It's not the greatest. It's not bad, but Earth people are primitive, thousands of years behind us. You will need that advantage to survive. You will be isolated, alone. You will not be alone. You will never be alone. No, not again. This was the worst one yet, Lara. This time I didn't even manage to save our son. These dreams, they're not going to stop. Not until you stop punishing yourself. Accept what happened, and what happened. It was not your fault. You did all you could to warn them. They didn't listen, and Krypton paid the price. Leave the ghosts to the past. Look to the future. We owe it to ourselves, and we owe it to Kal-El. This is our home now. Look at that.
Heck yeah, that looks dope.
I like the fake out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you? You think like
exactly.
And showing, yeah, and of course he would have that nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
87 days earlier, a different metropolis. The unearthly craft landed in front of the United Nations building just moments ago, 12 noon on the dot. Okay, if I would give one criticism right off the bat, that ship's too big.
Yeah, I would say so.
Now, granted, we can they don't go under any explanation to how he was able to get off. So, like, my guess is he had more time.
Yeah, I would say so.
And just as promised by the voice transmission beamed around the world yesterday in 116 different languages, our government's response, swift and predictable. After evacuating a 5-block radius, the military surrounded the vessel with heavy firepower. But to what end? Is this any way to greet alien beings who possess technology advanced enough to traverse the stars? Definitely food for thought there, Chad. But kudos to our side for at least one good space gesture. Agreeing to the voice's request to allow the media to record their arrival, our action news cameras will be beaming in the historic event live via satellite. So whatever these strange visitors have in store for us, the world will, and the whole world will be testing, 1, 2, 3. Where's our sound guy? Just lost contact with the booth. Anomaly energy spike, sir. We're checking it. Wait, why can't I pull up CENTCOM? Anomaly energy spike, sir. We're checking it out now. General, the spacecraft. Something's happening. Is that a hatch starting to open? Hold your water, soldier. People of Earth, we come in peace. We come in peace. Is this for real? Maybe they in these EBES like watching our old movie, or maybe they just want and know what we want to hear. Alien beings, they sure look a lot like us. Hell, even the kid's cute. I am Jor-El. This is my wife Lara and our son Kal-El. We escaped our homeworld just before it was destroyed in a cataclysm. The 3 of us are the last survivors of a planet known as Krypton. Sir, that energy spike is part of an EMP backwash from the spacecraft. Must be the reason our weapon systems are shorting out. Find a way around it. Too late. The HK-47 motor grid is redlining. The overload is corrupting all firing sequences. So in other words, they're not doing it intentionally.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's basically a short out from the EMP. Uh-oh. Damn, the president ordered me to avoid a first strike at all costs. If it ain't consolation, sir, our mortars are bouncing off the halls like ping pong balls. No consolation whatsoever. We were just hit by a stray mortar. How bad? Bad. Took out the tail rotor. I repeat, I gave no command to fire. All backup support is to stand down. Sir, you may want to rethink that. My God, what happened to we come in peace? Open your eyes. This thing's a damn warship. Now what? In the movies, this is where the soldiers usually get zapped by a death ray. Attention, B. But B as in Brainiac.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep, the woman, she's still breathing. No way any human could have survived those mortar blasts. Anyone understand? Attack override initiated. Command code L2. Anyone understand this mumbo jumbo? The ship sure as hell did. It just folded up all of its super weapons. Whatever she said, shut it down like a heart attack. Makes you wonder what else they can do. I don't like the way she's eyeballing us. No, we're dropping like a stone. God help the men caught it below us. What was that? Someone just grabbed me. Me too. Yay, mommy. Wind corporal. What kind of wind short of a tornado can pick up 10-ton Huey in midair? That kind, sir. Be gentle with them, Jor-El. They are 3/4 water, 71% and 68% respectively. That's my daddy. As we were saying, Krypton is no more. But before the end, we were able to surveil a number of other worlds, which brings us to the reason we're here. We'd like Earth to become our new home. That is, if you'll have us. So what do you think about the start already?
I love this. This is so...
This feels like what would happen.
Yeah, exactly. And I like how they could have gone the whole, they're like to like rule the world and stuff. They could have done that because it's Elseworlds, but they didn't so far at least.
Yep, because they wanted to keep it traditional, and plus there have been cases of other Kryptonians showing up on Earth. Like there was one where it was an ancestor of Jor-El, like his father, I believe, came to Earth during the Revolutionary War time.
Well, the other thing that I thought was going to happen when you said the cannons are going on, I thought that the guns were going to accidentally shoot the L's.
Well, technically it did.
No, but actually kill them or something like that, or actually hurt them.
Yeah, they already got their powers. They already have their powers.
Plus, that seems more like if they were trying to turn Clark Batman.
Right. But the whole point is to have his parents here the whole time, not just bring him there to off him.
Which is really cool. I like that concept.
And I really like how his parents are already being just like how Kal would be at full power. And look at the posing here.
Mm-hmm.
It's typical Superman posing, And
I love Kal. That's my daddy.
Yep. I was a slightly older Kal, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, look, they stopped Mount St. Helen, meaning they showed up in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their planet blew up. Krypton due by an unstable core. Familia saga continues. They have superpowers. Our yellow sun is a key factor. It's the 48 hours since they in the 40 hours since they extinguished the Mount Helen eruption. They rescued the Skylab astronauts. And they took down a third world hit squad before it could terrorize the Frankfurt Olympic. Oh, the Olympics. So they are keeping it the real world event. So to be fair, if Superman was around during that point, he would have stopped that too.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about them tying into real world events like
That's
that?
actually a really clever idea to like first establish a time frame of when they arrived, and two, actually like
stop events that were definitely like you say, oh no, this is good, they're stopping it.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's not like they're involving them in events that Superman himself would realistically get into in the comics.
Yep, and including the 8 Mile event, 8 Mile Aisle. And hours ago, they averted the disaster by siphoning off the fallout from the 8 Mile Aisle nuclear and plant meltdown. As you viewers at home can see from the digital readouts, the staggering number of lives Jor-El Lara saved over the past. Oh, look at it. These are all the people saved over the past 48 hours.
Wow.
Yep, they're definitely making it. To be honest, though, this is what Superman would have done if he showed up as an adult but was raised with his parents' values.
Yeah, exactly. And see, I would love to have and this is kind of, if I got to write the Superman and Wonder Woman book, this is kind of the stuff I would be doing.
Right. And yet the super couple is said to be humbled by the sheer volume of accolades pouring in. Countless cards and letters, even a few billboards, as well as a personal invitation from our commander-in-chief. During our recent White House visit, the president and our son shared what you people call a photo op. We've since declined invitations from 6 other world leaders. We have traveled far enough. Since I announced my plan to erect a permanent domicile for my family in your world, we've heard from countless across the globe, many of them offering us prime locations. Lara and I are deeply moved by all this generosity and goodwill. But because you have presented us with such an embarrassment of boy, that's a typo, and N. Embarrassment of riches, we decided the final choice should be left up to our family's man of tomorrow, our son. I've calibrated the giant globe so it will stop spinning. Jam! The instant the heat beams from Kal-El's eyes converge on our location of our new home, Metropolis. So in other words, it was just a luck of the draw.
Mm-hmm.
Which I like that. Of course, you would try to leave it up to random.
Yeah, exactly.
Earth's entry, 10A2, the 12th level artificial intelligence system embedded in our spacecraft, is about to initiate the construction process. The record will show the generous people of Metropolis gave us a choice of several sites. And while we have been assured we selected a prime location, and my primary concern was what lies beneath. As soon as substrata scans confirmed this was the location which best suited our needs, the hypersymbiosis processing was underway. These geotendril probed the mesosphere layer of Earth's mantle for the rich veins of natural building blocks we had detected. Quartz, silicon, basalt, magnesium. No viable element would go to waste. And while the neosium of raw minerals was siphoned out of the substrata, on the surface, the next phase of the construction process was about to total matter regeneration. And by now, our vessel was unrecognizable, totally assimilated by the gargantuan structure, rapidly expanding its dominance over the skyline. In other words, no sunstone. It's smart tech.
Okay, that makes sense. That's cool.
Yep. At the same time, all 12 of these virtual levels were tracking billions of stimulus microconversions at the subatomic level. As the primal elements rising from Earth's depths fueled our self-regenerating Kryptonian crystal, the hybrid metals they produced gave shape and substance to our new home, while the throngs of Metropolis citizens gathered below could only look on with astonishment and disbelief. As our vulnerable Earth offer once observed, any technology sufficiently advanced will be indistinguishable from magic. What they perceived as miracles worthy of awe and wonder were merely the application of advanced Kryptonian science. Eventually, they would learn to tell the difference. I would see to that. I believe in their potential and what they can become one day. It is this reason, above all else, their capacity for good, that Lara and I have trusted them with our only son. Ha! Of course. And if I remember right, Cary Bates also helped out working on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
If I recall right, he was definitely involved. It was a little bit. They can be a great people. They wish to be. They only lack the light to show them the way. From now on, that light shall be me. Back to today. Jor-El, not here, Lara. He left the tower shortly after dawn. And Kal-El, and presently frolicking in the liquid nitrogen pool. He had another dream last night, B, but I'm sure you know that. Affirmative. He was still troubled by it this morning. He couldn't save any of us this time, not even Kal-El. Quite a departure from the dreams where you would concoct ingenious ways to rescue Kryptonians by the millions, equipping our starcraft with a maximal cone shrinkage ray, for example, using me to miniaturize entire cities that could be transported off-world before
I got it. I understood that. Cue the Captain America gif.
Yep. The details may change, but by Rao, never the guilt. He still thinks the fate that befell Krypton was somehow his fault, his burden to bear alone. Sad but true. But no matter how illogical. What, pray tell, is that? It appears to be a Kryptonian thought thief with a vivid urge to devour Kal-El. B, I am not in the mood. Do not test my patience. As you wish. Jor-El instilled the hologram at this location to deter Kal-El from entering this level. Is that so? And why was I not informed about this? Or better yet, about this? You mind telling me what lies behind this monstrosity of a door? Jor-El refers to it as the sanctum of solitude, a private sanctuary free of all distraction, where no one can disturb him. The walls are impervious, forged from remnants of our starship craft hull. Note the double and lead lining to block X-ray vision, as well as a red solar buffer field to negate all other superpowers. As for the Megalock, it is attuned to the alpha wave of Jor-El's brain. Only he can open it. This need for privacy. He wasn't like this on Krypton, but on this world, people look upon your husband as a veritable god. Perhaps solitude helps him cope with the many demands on his time. Demands which now include Jor-Core. Jor-Core? He did not inform you? What do you think? Sorry, B, it's not you. No apologies necessary. And if I may, I can suggest an expedient way you could be brought up to date.
The Jor-Core?
Yeah! As it happens, today is the day Jor-Core is being unveiled to the media. Now we're getting somewhere. Show me where to look. And that's only stage one, people. Once Jor-Core becomes fully operational, we will seek out the best and brightest minds of your planet has to offer. There's no limit. And I'll be honest, I buy Jor-El doing this and Kal never considering it.
Yeah, but in many ways, this could be where Williamson got the idea for Supercore.
It could be. It could be, but that's the case of Lex giving it to him.
No, but still the idea of giving Superman a corporation, kind of.
Yeah. But Jor-El knows what to do with it, whereas Superman is like, you just keep doing whatever.
It's a cool idea. It's just they never really did anything with that.
Agreed. And there's no limit to what can be achieved once we begin cooling Earth's technology with applied Kryptonian science. And be assured, any and all projects we undertake will be for the betterment of mankind. I will now take your questions. I'm confused, Lara. Just moments ago, you were visibly upset. The press conference opened my eyes, Steve. You don't know how long it's been since I've seen him so motivated about anything. Actually, I do know. If sharing the wonders of his science with this world gives my husband some peace of mind, then so be it. I won't stand in his way, and he can have his sanctum. The artwork.
Was this guy? Did Ed Bannis travel in time?
Yeah, but it's a little awkward shaped.
Yeah, I know. It's a little bit like
Well, she is walking though. To be fair, she is walking.
Yeah, but her ass is that high.
That's true.
Yeah.
But again, she is.
It's still good. I'm not complaining.
Yep. 6 years later, Lara and I can no longer discuss our mounting concerns over Kal-El's well-being. Not after yesterday, when his robo-nanny shut down during a park outing. Kal-El refused to leave its side, and as usual, the press was not far behind. Okay, so you don't want to fly? Then just float like a bee. Bend steel with your bare hands, Kal-El, and start a fire with your eye. How about blowing down a tree? Leave me alone. I already told you. I'm not supposed to use my powers without a good reason. Go away! Oh, my eardrums! Get here! I think I'm gonna be sick. But by now, we were aware a life behind the walls of El Tower was far from an optimal environment for a growing boy, and yet the frenzy of attention he attracted in the outside world was equally vexing. Now that Jor-El occupies so much of my time, Kal-El's welfare has become Lara's first priority. Hence the vast data bank she's been compiling for weeks now. She's already vetted hundreds of Earth couples, isolating them into select groups. You can tell where this is going, according to certain criteria.
Hey, what's up, Tevia?
Wait! Oh! I did this live!
Oh, you didn't know it was live?
Oh, crap. This is the second time I've ever done this.
Well, all right.
Hold on. Let's see. Can I change it to private? You know, okay. This is a preview, guys, of an upcoming PTN.
All right.
Oh, this is embarrassing.
It's all good.
Second time I've ever done it. First time was when I went over the Morrison Action Comics.
Oh, okay.
And of those, only a chosen few meet all of her stringent requirements. Sure, we'd love to adopt, but Perry's assignments keep him on the road so much. Things will be different once they make me city desk editor. Oh, read the name. Harry and Alice White, Julius and Jean Schwartz, Thomas and Martha Wayne,
okay.
Dan DiDio and Mike Carlin.
All right.
I confess, I was never comfortable with Lara's solution to the problem. Surrogate parents? What could an ordinary Earth couple offer with our son that we could not? But Lara was determined to press on. And then a seemingly trivial event took place in a rural region, often referred to as the Heartland. Well, there are fervent believers out there who might claim it was a providence or a cosmic act of fate. To a man of science, it was a random cosmological event, no more, no less. Since vaporizing the cornfield on impact, there have been conflicting reports of the meteorite's actual size. On this topic, not even the farm's owners seem to agree. But how big? Any of you ever seen a combine harvester up close? And pish tosh, at most it was the size of our washing machine. Maybe time for a new eyeglass prescription, Martha. Or maybe you'll use an excuse to tell a tall tale. Jonathan and Kenton and Martha Clark did together 30 years. High moral values, strong work ethic, loved by friends and neighbors alike. And childless, no doubt. They're still determined. We owe it to Kal-El. We love him enough to let him go. He needs a sample of the kind of upbringing most children in this world would take for granted. There will come a day, Jor-El, years from now, when they'll have to choose if he wants to live the rest of his life as a Kryptonian or an Earthman. We can at least make sure it'll be an informed choice. And when he does finally choose Lara, I hope we'll both be able to look back on today with no regrets. Now I have other matters to attend to. And Jor-El couldn't make it into this. He's delivering an address at the UN today. That husband of yours needs to learn to relax. Although after the week I've had, I'm a fine one to talk. I sympathize, Martha. As difficult as the transition will be for Jor-El and me, I can't begin to fathom what you and Jonathan are going through. Don't you fret about me, Lara. Look at that. These past few days, you and your son have been getting on like a house on fire. Just an expression, I trust. Sakes alive, the county and not only approve the adoption, it says we're past all the red tape. He's all set to be a first grade at South Elementary. You Kryptonians must be miracle workers. We do what we can. Think of this as your parental guidebook. We try to anticipate any questions you might have about Kal-El's superpowers. Kal-El? Nobody by that name around these parts, ma'am. But meet our boy Clark Kent. What do you think about this idea?
I like this. This is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like to using this as a place to allow him to have a normal life.
Yeah.
Okay. My brother, you can't see it, but my brother's bothering me. Okay, go, Nathan, go. That's enough. He's trying to get some sweets that are meant for his lunch.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, now here's something now interesting. When word leaked that your book would draw on the tenets of Raoism, Krypton's ancient religion, people scoffed, Laura. But Raoology has since become a runaway bestseller. How do you explain its success? Life is a journey, Denise. Whenever or wherever it begins, Raoology can serve as an invaluable guidebook. You describe Raoology as a set of cosmic keys for unlocking our higher self. In other words, we're getting the Kryptonian religion side from her.
That's cool. I like that.
Raoists believe all living beings have hidden potential. The trick is to find a way to tap into it. But next to us, Kryptonians like you and Jor-El might as well be gods. So let's get real here. None of us will ever reach your level of perfection. While my depiction of life on Krypton might make it seem as if we had achieved some sort of sublime utopia, we represented only one level of vast celestial hierarchy. The cosmos hosts to an infinite variety of life forms, including immortal beings who dwell in exalted realms far beyond base material, worlds like Earth or Krypton. Okie dokie, Lara. Thanks for clearing that up. And now, before we run out of time, my viewers would not forgive me if I didn't ask about Kal-El. These days, it seems like he only appears in public on rare occasions. Where are you and Jor-El keeping him? Let's just say that Kal-El is on a journey of self-discovery all of his own. That will have to satisfy your viewers for now. I do like how they've easily been able to adjust to Earth's life.
Yeah, exactly.
An Earth book entry, 889C5. It's been 4 years now since Kal-El ascended Sorum in Smallville began. In the wake of his many absences, Lara and I have spent considerable time apart, pursuing our own interests. But is that the only reason for the ever-widening distance between us? Mr. J, we thought you want to see this. A complete proof of Fermat's last theorem that defined Earth's mathematician for 3 centuries. Which one of you cracked it? It was sent in by a civilian. No doubt in the hopes you'll be impressed enough to hire him. I don't impress easily. He's aware of that. He's quite perceptive for his age. His age? I knew that Billy Morgan was up to 1/10 of a second after he did. This wasn't the first time a bully had picked on me, or the first time other kids had laughed at me. But this time, a part of me just wanted to cut loose. I couldn't stop wondering what it'd be like to just be myself for once and let people see my powers. I have to tell you, Father, it felt great. Awesome, actually. And if just thinking about it could get me that worked up. Do you understand why I have such a tough time keeping my secret? Understand? Yes. But sympathize? Absolutely not. When I was your age, I was already dedicated to science and the quest for knowledge. But look at you. Despite my qualm, you and your mother chose to embark on this ill-advised experiment. What fuels this strange desire to... Oh boy, now we're getting some of the downsides to Jor-El. What fuels this strange desire to live as an Earth child is beyond me. But it would be no disgrace to end this charade if you had a genuine desire to reconnect with your true heritage. But if you abandon your life in Smallville merely to avoid the taunts of lesser beings, in that event, there would be no dignity, only shame. Shame on the entire House of El. I am signing off now. You know.
So here's the thing.
It's believable, though. It's like a father would say.
It's what a father would say, but so Jor-El has lived on Earth for like decades at this point. Let's say
a decade.
A decade. Okay, that's fine. Even then, I still wouldn't think you would speak so coldly about humans.
True. I think it's not so much the humans themselves, so much as the idea of Clark's living among them like one. That's what seems like hits the problem here.
I guess.
But he never cuts me a break. He doesn't mean to be so hard on you, son. It's just his way. For what it's worth, we understand. You can do all these amazing things, and sometimes you feel like you just go bust if you can't tell people about it. But have you ever wondered, Clark, why, out of the millions and millions of planets out there where you might have ended up, your Kryptonian planet parents chose Earth? The way Mars and I see it, Something that flat out wonderful and amazing doesn't happen by chance. Son, you're here for a reason. And one day you'll figure out what that reason is. But in the meantime, there's one thing we do know. It's not the set of scores with school bullies. Again, tweaking movie dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not going to react.
Mm-hmm.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Apollo 11 astronaut Neil Armstrong said these famous words in July 21st, 1969, the day he left his footprint on the moon. Excellent work, Clark. You have a true eye for detail. In fact, if I didn't know better, I could almost believe this plaster gas really came from the lunar surface. Sounds like someone's getting an A on their science project. Bet Mr. Hart gives you one too. It's an ant farm, Clark. Nothing special. Look again, Lana. You got 5 adult queens in there. I do? We have time for one more project before the lunch bell. The first hand up was yours, Lex. A decolorizer. Go ahead. Enlighten us. And I could cite some particle physics theorems to explain how I realign photons in the infrared spectrum, but why bother in a room where the IQ and median IQ barely tops 100? And besides, show and tell is so much more fun. We're landing in front of the school now, sir. Wow, this is so cool. We're all black and white like some scene out of an old movie. How does Lex keep coming up with this stuff? Duh, he's a genius, a geek who lives in his basement 24/7. Any practical use for this device, Lex? Nada, Mr. Hart. It's as useless as your dopey science class. Watch your tone, young man. Get stuff. We both know you've always resented me. Genius, MB. And guess what? I changed one setting. And my new toy does do something useful after all. Oh my God, my clothes! Now that cheap suit is just as transparent as you. You're done, loser. Report to the principal office now. No can do. My ride's here. The chopper outside, it's taking me to Metropolis. I start my new job at Jor-El on Monday. Jor-El? These nice men have already moved my parents into our split level. I came to school today to gloat. Is that so wrong? But I won't go into the perks, Mr. Hart. The personal tutors, the 6-figure salary. I hate to see a grown man cry. So, yeah, this makes sense, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
But everyone knew Lex was smart, but Jor-El smart? Come on, know anyone else who can recite rap in ancient Greek? Look, up in the sky, is that who I think it is? Jor-El! Whoa, Lex even rates a meet and greet from the big man himself. Darn wish I could hear what they're saying. I'm about to head out to an unstable star system in the Sagittarius constellation. I want to stop by first to personally welcome you to the Jor-El team, Lex. And WR-104, right? My homemade radio telescope picked up the spike in gamma radiation. My guess, star WR-104 is already a supernova, but the light isn't visible yet. Your plan is to deflect the gamma rays before they can ever reach our ozone layer. Extreme intellect, unbridled hubris, a vigorous passion for science. Rare traits in a boy your age, but not so rare back on Krypton, right? That I like!
Mm-hmm.
It ties back to the whole that Lex would have been welcomed on Krypton. As a boy. Current age, no. As a boy, yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd be willing to bet I'm almost as smart as you were at my age. Can your son Kal-El say that? Didn't think so. It looks so cool when Jor-El takes off like that. Can't say I'll miss Lex. Think of any of us will ever hear from him again. Just wait till Jor-El finds out what a humongous pain Lex can be. That goes both ways, Lana, because from some of the stuff I've heard of people say about Jor-El, maybe Lex is the one who doesn't know what he's in for. For the love of Rao, tell me you're not running another digital simulation of Krypton's destruction. This time it's no simulation. I sent a probe into a deep space quadrant that intersects the path of light wave from the black. This is a hologram program of our vessel escaping the cataclysm as it actually happened. When does this stop, Jor-El? When will you finally put your morbid fixation with our homeworld's demise to rest? Quote a persistent Earthman. Those who do not learn from the past are doomed to repeat it. My fixation only redoubles my effort to ensure no such fate ever befalls this planet. Perhaps if we were not so preoccupied these days, you'd be a more supportive spouse. I'm preoccupied? Rowology, you've been inundated in trivial minute. Press junkets, book signing, talk shows. This culture craves mindless distractions like a drug. Admit it, this isn't about the book or their culture. It's still Kal-El you're angry about, even though he's too young to have any memory of Krypton. Even though Earth is the only planet he's ever known, you blame me because I allowed him to live in a real world instead of the shrine to a dead planet El Tower has become. You're talking about our home, Lara, the last link to our Kryptonian root. The edifice is not the problem, it's you! Lara, wait, we must resolve this. Let's talk. Earth's couples call it having a heart-to-heart. I want to be alone. Alone! They get into a bit of an argument, but...
Yeah, there you go. Where's Frank Miller when you need him?
Nah, they just need to get this aggression out of their system. The elusive L family is at it again. First it was young Kal-El who went missing, and now Lara is the one who's eluding our celebrity radar. Since the no-shows only began after that very loud spat she and Jor-El had a while back, could our Kryptonian super couple be on the outs? Probing minds want to know. I declare, I don't know how you endure the idle gossip. That doesn't bother me, Martha, especially when they're so far off the mark. It's true I am keeping a low profile these days, but as you well know, it's not because Jor-El and I are on the outs. In fact, over the past few months, we've never been closer. She's pregnant!
There you go.
We came to an understanding. I cut back on my ralology activities, and he's been spending less time at Jor-Corps. Still, I'm sure we still have our difficulties, but I'm very optimistic. You should see how excited he is about being a father again. Every couple hits a rough patch now and then, and if Jor-El is anything like my Jonathan, sometimes he'll do things that'll make you madder than a hornet. Martha, but as long as the love is there, you're both... Martha! I think it's time. Where's my bracelet? Easy. Uh-oh. You hear that? Hear what? My bracelet's beaming an ultrasonic signal only Jor-El can hear. If you say so, dear, let's get you off your feet. Clark, use your heat vision. Boil some water. That won't be necessary, Jonathan. I can put Kal-El to better use. Father, leave it to your mother to define my data. I need you to assist while I make last-minute recalibration to the birthing matrix.
There you go.
Yes, sir. We've known for months now the yellow suns and rays of your sun were accelerating the gestation process. I wasn't expecting Laura's biocycle to be 6 days ahead of her expected due date, and nature only keeps time on her own clock. Birthing matrix, huh? From here on out, the apparatus will perform most of the labor. All Laura will have to do is focus on her breathing. Easy for you to say. Deeper breaths, deeper and faster. Deeper, faster. Goodness gracious! That's deep enough for you, Jor? Whoa! Martha and I were talking about remodeling the bedroom anyway. The Matrix has just initiated phase 1 of the delivery. I invite everyone to stand back. I shouldn't see this coming. I've got X-ray vision and I didn't see it. What more could be any couple asked for? Imagine being twice blessed. Twins! Earth book entry 67C. So far, no complication from the premature delivery. Although it was certainly not our intention for Lara to give birth to our twins on a Kansas farm, I suppose as Earth folks say, everything worked out for the best. Is this new outlook of mine the result of becoming a father once again, twice over? Or am I finally coming to terms with Kal-El's alternative lifestyle? Either way, perhaps the time has come for me to welcome the Kents into what can be described now as our extended family. All in all, it's been a good day. So what do you think of it so far with the first issue?
I'm digging it. That was the first issue?
Yep.
My God, that was a lot. I thought that was like 2 issues.
It was 2 chapters.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, what do you think about Jor-El being the focal point for the most part?
I like that, having him be like essentially the protagonist.
Yep. The star, my destination. Classic Alfred Bester, sci-fi and science fiction novel, 1956. Second star to the right and straight on till morning. A line from Peter Pan, J.M. Barr, 1910. That's 6 in a row. If you get this next one too, it's official. You're a nerd. That hurts, Lana. When you wish upon a star. One clue. My mom used to sing it to me. Tick-tock, Clark. Time's up. It's from Pinocchio, the Jiminy Cricket song. Okay, so maybe there's hope for you. Yet? Clark? Earthbook entry 154B. Kal-El meant well. Of that I'm certain. It's most likely by the approaching meteor from Smallville. Realized it was too large to burn up in the atmosphere, he must have decided to intercept himself. Had he only taken the time to scan the sky above a bit more thoroughly, his supervision would surely have detected my newly installed global repeller shield, an invisible matter dispersal field enveloping the entire planet. It instantaneously disintegrates any incoming meteor, asteroid, or comet on a collision course with Earth. This particular object, however, was no ordinary space rock. It emitted its kryptonite, unknown green radiation that defines Kal-El's invulnerability and racked every fiber of his body with agonizing pain. He couldn't have grasped what was happening to him, let alone why. To his young mind, it must have seemed like some horrific nightmare. But this was no fantasy. Rise, Kal-El. You have no need to bow down before us. But I know who you are. Don-El, Jan-El, Ter-El, Sig-El, my father's most venerated ancestors. True enough, but the oldest son of Jor-El has had as much right as we do to enter the hollow borders of the House of El. Only you shall not be staying long. A grand destiny still awaits you on a mortal plane, for it is only there that you can fulfill your true purpose. The Ken said something like that too, that I came to Earth for a reason, but he couldn't tell me what it was. The answer to that question lies within, Kal-El. Look to your soul. So I guess he's in a near-death state.
Okay, that makes sense.
Earth's Son has granted you powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. It's up to you to acquire the wisdom to determine how you are meant to use them. This much we can confirm. Your destiny is not to merely follow into our footsteps. What challenges lie before you, you know that, and you know this. You will not be alone. You will never be alone. Wait, tell me more. You have to tell me more. Come back to us, my son. Come back. Success. The red solar shock therapy has pulled him out of his coma. Thank Rao. I never thought we'd come so close to losing him. No need for the twins to know. Too late, Dad. We've been watching from the playroom and listening. Valora, Ruel, what have we told you about using your super senses to eavesdrop? But Mom, Kel was green. Be worried. He's the only big brother we have. After the robot sentries retrieved you, I took no chances. I sent them back to collect every trace of the orbiting green debris. If my cursory analysis proved correct, we're looking at a byproduct of the chain reaction to destroy Krypton. From now on, these remnants of our homeworld shall be known as kryptonite. Now that we know even short-term exposure can prove fatal to us, we must learn all we can about this element. I'm on it, Dad. Just tell me what I can do. Forensic meteor analysis is a bit outside your grasp, son. And I already have the best and brightest mind on this planet at work. Work finding. Excuse the intrusion, Jor-El. Priority message from Jor cards come in. Very well, be activate. The sample you've sent over are mind-blowing, sir. The radioactive signature is off the charts. We may be looking at half-life of 2 million years plus. Is this available in what's TP?
Trade paperback?
Yeah, yes, I think it was. FYI, the element is harmless to Earthlife, just as your notes predicted. No telling how many other meteors drifted here before the repeller shield went up. It's imperative we develop a viable means to detect them. This will be your project, Lex. Mount your own research chief and have at it. Isn't there something I can do here, Dad? Appreciate the vote of confidence, sir. I promise to impress you. Maybe Dad's right. My visit to the House of Elves was just a fever dream. But real or not, my ancestors seem to know my destiny. But before I can find out more, let me guess. You woke up. You don't believe me either. What I don't believe in is simple answers, not to life's most vexing questions. Such profound knowledge has to be earned. Trust me, a day will come when your own instincts will lead you to your true calling. It's a phenomenon some Earthers call finding your bliss. On Krypton, we had a term for it, Kuwanka, when the path of one's destiny is revealed by an inner light brighter than 1,000 suns. Phew, that's deep, Mom. Your father has a science, I have my spirituality. And one day, you'll have a noble cause of your own. I guarantee it. But for now, you and your father will be roughening it tonight. I have a business dinner. What do you think about this, though? Again, one science, one is spirituality.
I like that. I was about to bring that up. I really dig that.
Yeah. Due to a confluence of events, 2 nights ago, I was the only astronomer on call. Some might call it an accident of chance, a whim of fate. But we know better, don't we? The eyes of Providence is watching over us and our cause. I was in the right place at precisely the right time, so I could bear witness. The alien infidels are not as impressive as we've been led to believe. Something in the universe can hurt them after all. Uh-oh. I'm transmitting the proof to you now. Behold, the one they call Kal-El, drifting in space, stricken down by those strange green meteorites. Had Jor-El's robots not arrived to rescue him, that deathly parlor indicates he would have died in orbit. Oops. One small step for the misstep for the Kryptonians, one giant leap for doomsday!
Okay.
Up Gotham City, you made reservation at Andresburg for Thomas, who's joining. A new acquaintance who is very interested in the Wayne Foundation financials. Sounds kind of boring, Dad. I'm with Bruce. There's a reason we don't mix business with family. I think you two will agree. Tonight is an exception. Now, if I could just find a cab, screw the cab, hand over your valuables. Now, Thomas, we'll be all right. We do exactly as the gentleman asked, and I'm sure he'll. Now means now, lady. I want it all. That includes that necklace. I never asked twice. You got 3 seconds. That's two more than you have, Earthman. Ah, Christ! It's one of them Metropolis elf freaks. Your driver license has expired, Mr. Chill, and so has my talents for your kind of human lowlife. What a punch! Hey! What I wouldn't give to have a right hook like that someday. I was handed for Andres when I spied you and your family in trouble. You're our dinner guest? Lara and Laura Vaughn. Meet my wife Martha and our son Bruce. A pleasure. I'm starting my own charitable foundation, and your husband has agreed to lend me his expertise. Notice what she just prevented.
Yeah, exactly. So there is no Batman on this earth then.
Not now. On one condition, it is. I take this young man on an area tour of Gotham City. Oh, wow. Does this mean I get to fly? Entry 197A. Valora and Jor-El are now 8. By the time Kal-El was their age, she was living with the Kents. But Laura has agreed that sharing our parental duties this time around is not a viable option. In light of certain complications, such as their constant disobedience, not to mention her hyperactivity. Jor-El, the twins have left the power. They dismantled their robot guardians and slipped out through an infrastructure breach. I assume our GPS grids are tracking them. They have just entered the southern hemisphere. Could you elaborate? Possible end destination? They've accessed one of your comm terminals to listen in on classified U.S. military chatter. There is a 50-megaton nuclear bomb test now underway on the Pacific Atoll. Oh, the countdown is already underway. And just a few more seconds to go before the big boo. Seen Kal-El ever did anything this exciting when he was our age? No way. His idea of fun was living on a farm and passing for an earther. So what do you think Ground Zero will feel like, sis? And hot. Kind of like the time Mom and Dad flew into the sun. I heard them talk about it once, but they were smiling, so I guess it was a good kind of hot. What happened out at the Pacific Atoll today was inexcusable. We were all at fault. You two for breaking out of the tower and attempting such a reckless stunt, and us for not telling you the truth about yourself sooner. Unlike your brother, you were born here on Earth, an environment far from pristine. You were both vulnerable to its many impurities when you first emerged from your mother's womb. Eventually, your newborn bodies were fortified by the rays of the yellow sun, but the genetic damage had been done. You're both superhuman, yes, but the extent of your power is approximately half that of ours. And Kal-El, the invulnerability while we can easily withstand a nuclear explosion, you cannot. Fortunately, your father and I were able to spare you from the full force of the blast, and thanks to the wonders of our advanced science, you'll fully recover. This time, what do you think about that?
That is really cool. I'm digging this.
Yeah, but like I said, I think now with someone like John, for example, his human half is probably, you know, I mean, right? Probably makes it like it's safer for him to not be damaged.
I guess.
Right, but I told them if there was a next time, they may not be so fortunate. And we offered to help them during their recovery period. Laura and I remain vigilant. We offered to help them readjust to their limitations. But it soon became apparent our daughter needed no such guidance. Someone seems to be adapting well. She has enough super speed to maintain an accelerated reading regimen. For her, that's sufficient. Judging by these volumes, the topic of the day is earthly political science. Laura is the intellectual of our group. She's been reading 1,000 books a month since the age of 5. Wait, Valora? Kind of like Valeria.
Ah, there you go.
Little wonder she never showed much interest in matters of physical prowess. She couldn't be more unlike her brother, always willing and eager for an excuse to jump headlong into superpower action. And way to pour on the speed, Brew. You're officially outracing a comet. Big deal. Comets top at 100,000 miles per hour max. Don't pretend you couldn't fly so and 50 times faster without breaking a sweat. Not too shabby, bro. You're balancing a rock the size of a mountain on one hand. Sure, Cal. Like I don't know, gravity here on Mars makes Earth everything 38% lighter. How fast we are, how strong we are, how far we can see. It's all just a measure of the solar energies we absorb. It doesn't define us or put limits on what we can accomplish. Easy for you to say. You're not the one who will always feel like a loser next to his big brother. Used to be I thought I could do anything I set my mind to. But that was before I found out I was only half super. Now that I know, the future looks a lot more scary and kind of empty. I just wish I knew what comes next. You and me both, little brother. You and me both. I like this about Clark being a big brother.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's so much originality to this.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree? There's so much originality. Oh, yeah. Rowology, controversial otherworld philosophy, is more popular than ever. The fact that its prime guru is a superpower Kryptonian certainly helps. What began as a book and lecture tour has mushroomed into a bona fide phenomena. Lara now heads up her own nonprofit foundation, and she has just opened the world's first Rowology Center right here in Metropolis. A second facility for Gotham City is already in the planning stages. Our visitors not only learn about Rowology, but Krypton's history and culture as well. Behind you is the most popular exhibit, the Cluster of Knowledge. Within these mega crystals, the complete works of Krypton's most venerated teachers and philosophers can be found. Anyone can plug into receiving a telepathic translation in the language of their choice. All very impressive. It's easy to see why so many people are flocking here. And yet, you do have your detractors. People who claim Rowology is psychobabble. What, like Scientology? Not even.
Mm-hmm.
Space-based claptrap, masquerading as half-baked philosophy, and others that brand you subversive, even dangerous. The the Doomsdayers, for example. The radical fringe group that believes your family is cursed. They insist the Elf president Earth will one day set off a cataclysm like the one that destroyed Krypton. Utter xenophobic nonsense. Jor and I know too well the agony of seeing our homeworld die. We never allow such a fate to befall your world. But that said, any citizen who feels a need to protest against me or my family has the right to express their beliefs, no matter how grievously misguided those beliefs may be. Of course, look what Brew does, hiding in the sky.
Yeah.
Figured you, and it was you behind the waterworks. Real mature, Brew. They started it. They were saying bad things about Mom and Rowology. Somebody attacks one out, they attack us all. But this isn't this is not the way to fight back. You know Mom would never approve. And what would Cal say? Pa! Kal-El, is that you? Whatever, and you're surrounded by appears to be a product of alien tech. But I got your back. Hold on, son. They said no harm. He was sent by Jor-El. So much soil degradation here. I was sure this pasture would never see another crop. But that was all before those little gizmos showed up. Ingenious. Nanobots extract water and nitrogen from the air as they fortify the soil with hypernutrients. This pasture is so fertile now. I could plant an orange grove. So Jor-El has his way. Even folks at far ends of the earth will be able to grow their own food. Not that combating world hunger is important, but I'm concerned about you, Pa. I found you face down on the ground, remember? It just took it out is all. Probably from all the and Pa! And they save him.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, didn't die this time.
Yep.
Jonathan was fortunate to survive the initial myocardial event, but the arrhythmia would have been fatal. Thank Rao you brought him here so quickly. All the things I can do, all these powers, and I still couldn't save him.
Ah, there you go.
The cardiac unit I'm replacing his heart with will be a vast improvement. He'll wake up feeling 10 years younger. It's the least we can do. Jonathan and Martha have been so helpful to our son's development over the years. That they have. But at what cost? Earth hasn't seen Kal-El in years. He can't remain hidden behind those glasses forever. Perhaps not, but it's not our decision to make. Okay, once more. Say cheese. That was the last one, Pa. You used up the whole roll. Parents can never have too many pictures of their boy on the night of his senior prom. Lana's parents might take a few prints too, Jonathan. What a handsome couple. Were we ever that young, Martha? Just ignore him, you two. Go, have a wonderful evening. What? Clark Kent, are you out of your mind? You passed up a full scholarship to Metropolis U? It's complicated, Lana. That's why I've been giving this my future so much thought lately. In fact, it's all I've been. We interrupt this broadcast for a severe weather alert. We repeat, the tornado watch will reign in effect for the entire county until 10 p.m. Now, this is more of a Smallville reference than it is a Man of Steel reference.
Well, yeah, because Man of Steel hadn't come out yet.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, over there, the funnel cloud just touched down, and it says straight for Smallville. Lana, anyone I can get you to blindfold yourself for about 3 minutes? Be serious, Clark. If this hits Main Street, hold on. Where do those glowing things come from? Look how they're glooming into the twister. By then, I had a pretty good idea what we were seeing, but I didn't let it on to Lana. Whatever they are, they're a godsend. The twister is shriveling up, like the wind is being sucked out of it. I knew it wouldn't be long before the rest of the world would find out the truth. Next morning, the news media reported that 9 violent storms across the country had been zapped by a Jor-El weather control satellite. I should have known Smallville didn't need me to rescue it. That was you-know-who watching over our planet. But this was never about competing with Dad. And let's face it, if Earth did have a higher purpose for me, I'd have known it by now. My bliss, my Kun Ka, it's just not here. The Kents have told you and told them what you plan to do. The Kents have told you. Have you told them what you plan to do? They didn't take it very well, especially Martha. Although being able to say I had your blessing was a huge help, there's still the matter of your father. I told him your decision yesterday. He hasn't said a word since. When he gets like that, even I can't tell what he's thinking. We may be about to find out. Journey of self-discovery have to be confined to expeditions of the mind. I envy you, son. When I was your age, Krypton's global ban on space travel was in full force. Then he says of the mind, but you're at the threshold of a true vision quest across time and space, since the cosmos offers so many different vistas and paths of enlightenment. B and I have mapped out. Basically, his original plan was to go out into space, originally. The alien cultures we chose will be helpful on your quest. Thanks, Dad. So have you two given tomorrow any more thought? It really mean a lot if you both could be there. We'd love to. But how do we explain the L family descends on a farm belt for a high school graduation? By Rao, look at us. We possess superpowers, unlimited resources, science capable of miracles worthy of God. Surely we can find a way to deal with Kansas. I love moments like that.
There you go.
And look at them, the sky. Look. Look at them. Look at them. Cowboys.
Yeah, I love that.
Earth entry 257B. The solution we settled on may have been our finest hour. It may not have been our finest hour. Let the record show. No one in the graduation audience dreamed that there were 4 Kryptonians among them. After the ceremony, we reconvened at the Kent farm to see Kal-El off on his space quest. Jen Jor-El called. Next, Lucy informed me our exosphere sensors have detected massive bursts of sunspot activity. Only my intervention could prevent the flare-ups from disrupting communication networks on a global scale. No doubt Kal-El was as relieved as I was to be spared an awkward father and son farewell. However, my forced departure robbed me of the chance to see his going away present. I knew the Kents had been working alongside my wife to fashion something special for our son's journey. They didn't bother to consult me, probably just as well. Lara knew how possessed I am when it comes to the family crest, but any objection on my part would have been futile. By now, there was no way to alter the inexplicable chain of events Kal-El was about to be set in motion. Such is the indomitable nature of destiny. Ha!
It's a Superman.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's the Kal-El of tomorrow.
There you go.
Lara insisted we use only the finest Kryptonian fabric. Wasn't sure about the cape till Martha came up with the idea of secret pockets. And since you'll be representing 2 worlds, we thought the design of the uniform should reflect that as well. Red for Krypton's and Sun Rao, blue for Earth, and we threw in some yellow for our sun. I love that! Red!
I gotta say, that should be canon. That should be main continuity because that is a great idea.
Oh, and dude, you just see me, my jaws drop. Like, I forgot. If I watch that rewrite it, I still love that idea. That is a brilliant explanation for the color.
That should be main continuity, the main continuity explanation, because that's a genius idea.
The 2 suns and the blue for Earth.
Yeah, wow.
It says, and if it looks as good as it feels, I'm sold. I had hoped to get some holosides of you, but I left my pocket imager at the tower. No problem. I'll try out the suit while I zip to Metropolis and back. This planet's been good for you, Cal. And once you're off in deep space, you may be surprised how much you miss it. So slow down, open your super senses, and take in all the Earth sights and sounds you can. I could have gone to the tower for you, Mom. Don't you think I'm fast enough? Not now, Brew. And hey, I'm walking here. And venti soy and mocha twist, please. Just for that, the viz is now 4 points. And if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. That's it. Just like that. Don't stop. Stop. $6 for popcorn? That's nuts. Your Eminence, no one says jiggy that way anymore. I threw up in my mouth a little. Objection, Your Honor. Move the strike. Ah, Jesus, light's caught on the tracks and there's a train coming. Get the hell out of there, kid. Somebody do something. Didn't anyone ever tell you it's dangerous to fly on subway tracks? Wow, I can't believe you just stopped the whole train. Which hell are you? I've been out of circulation for a while, so you're a little too young to remember me. I'm never forgetting you. I'm never forgetting you now. You saved my butt. Not a problem. It was my pleasure. Nicely played. Yeah, that was Superman. What did he say? He said that was Superman. Superman? Superman. Isn't that Kal-El? Hard to be sure. No one's seen him in years. It has to be Kal-El. Only now he's grown up. Jeez, I'm old enough to remember the days when he was just a super type. Who knew he turned into such a hunk? She says there's 2 of them. According to Army Intel, the stolen tank is loaded with experimental firepower. You think? By the time the cavalry gets here, we'll be toast. Maybe not. Heads up. Both perps have just been collared. Who the hell was that? Kryptonian for sure, but it didn't like Brewell. Has to be his oldest brother, the one who went AWOL. And why now? Years after he's turned his back on the public. Not only is this adult Kal-El popping up all over Metropolis in a new red and blue uniform, he's been busy saving lives, thwarting crimes, and averting disasters. Is it any wonder why some grateful citizens now call him Superman? So in this case, it was the citizens who named it.
That works.
If the past 24 hours are any indication, Metropolis may have a new Kryptonian guardian angel. Yesterday, I had bet the farm the boy would be off in deep space by now. Now that I'm complaining, I'm confounded too, Jonathan, but something tells me our Clark is exactly where he wants to be. Right now, everyone on the planet knows the L family crest on sight. But in this newsman's humble opinion, after today, everyone will be thinking the same. The S stands for Superman. Open my senses, Mom said. The errand to Metropolis she sent me on, was it a sudden impulse or part of a master plan? I learned long ago not to ever underestimate her or the wonders of biology. Either way, I feel like I'm totally focused now for the first time in my life. Kuan Ka, bliss destiny. The exact words don't matter. They all amount to the same thing. My ancestors had it right, and so did the Kents. I was brought to Earth for a reason. This is what I was always meant to do, and Superman is who I am meant to be. Sorry, Kal-El. Your father cannot be disturbed while he's in the sanctum of solitude. It's all right, B. Leave us. At least you have the nerve to face me, Kal-El. What are you talking about? We could discuss the crass exploitation of our family crest, or how that garish attire sullies the dignity of the House of L. You've given up your sacred birthright as an L. And for what? To play the role of a Cape Savior who will always be at the Earth's beck and call? Get a grip, my son. It's you who need a reality check. You've never walked in their shoes, so you can't truly understand them and what they need. Again, this makes sense. It's again, Jor-El's representing Superman without the experience.
Yeah, exactly.
A symbol of truth and justice. They can look up to, who will embody all their hopes and dreams. A superhero. This is not the life I envisioned for you, my son. All the talk about Kuan Ka obviously clouded your mind. Actually, Dad, things have never looked so crystal clear. I have it all worked out. Clark Kent will enroll in Metropolis U, earn a journalism degree, and become a reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, the Daily Planet. I'll only have access to not only have access to breaking news that has happened, being in the field to cover stories will provide the freedom I'll need when it's necessary to go into action as Superman. This double life and you envision will be atrocious. You will neither be a true Kryptonian nor a genuine Earthman. In all likelihood, it will be a life lived alone. Constant demand on your time will be subvert any personal bonds you form. Revered by millions, yes, but loved by no one. I urge you to rethink this. I know you have doubts. You always did. But I have my certainty. This is what I'm supposed to do. What I was always meant to do. But that doesn't mean you and I still can't be. Dad? Metropolis 7 years later. Wish I brought more film. Who knew this many VIPs would be showing up tonight? All you had to do was ask me, Jimmy. Wonder how many favors Barry had to call in to get this table, Lois. The guest of honor is running late, I see. And maybe he took time out to end a drought or cure a disease on his way here. The dude talking to Lara looks familiar. That's Bruce Wayne and trust fund stud muppet. His father's a royalty donor, big time. Wish he was here. At least Thomas Wayne would make a photo op. But speaking of no shows, check out the Super Sibs table. No surprise, Superman's missing. He and Jor-El barely speak nowadays, right, Clark? That's what I hear. Jor-El's looks like one unhappy camper. Must suck to be super when you want to get hammered. Doesn't mean he can't try. Last month, Cat Grant ran a photo spread of him taking on a biker gang in a bar. And what they do? This his mom? They called him Superman Light. Jor-El's very sensitive about his shortcomings in the superpower area. Then there's Valora. My forces tell me she doesn't give a flying fig about her powers and what her powers can or cannot do. I knew her head wasn't in the game once she entered Harvard. Pre-law, I think, with a pre-med. From what I know of Valora, she never passed off any event honoring her father. I'll ask around, see what I can find. Can you hold the fort, Lois? I'll manage, Smallville. Or did you forget Perry assigned this gala to me? You're here strictly on escort duty. Ouch! Miss Lane, it's been 3 years now? You and Mr. Kent have been working the city room. Is there a question there somewhere? What is it with you guys? You compete for stories, I get it. But geez, you go at each other 24/7. You never give each other any slack. Face it, which one bursting and we're not. We're too good at pushing each other's buttons. And just between us, my true opinion of the man is unrepeatable. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been informed and we must vacate the ballroom at 10 p.m. So the gala will now proceed. Fingers crossed Jor-El will join us shortly. Just last week, he won no less than 5 Nobel Prizes for his innovation in the wide spectrum field. The benefits of providing mankind are far too numerous to be here. Oh, it's Lex. For those of us at JorCorp, listen to toil in his shadow. He constantly challenges us, but he also inspires us. And I'd like to think all that I'm learning from Jor-El will one day make me a better loser. Now what? Maybe they just got an update in Jor-El's ETA. Our apologies, people. Mr. Lucer's been called away on a matter most urgent. He's lost Lex too, and now too. Why is everyone bailing on this gig? Even Mr. Kent isn't back. You know how Clark gets. If no one's on the floor at any dish on Valora, he's probably calling his outside contact. We are doomed today. While you sycophants gather to fawn over the tyrant Jor-El, we remain unbowed and defiant. Our years of diligence and perseverance have borne fruit. We finally possess the means to rid Earth of Kryptonians. Not Doomsday again. And what BS are those xenophobic wingnuts slinging this? Oh my God! As this live video feed confirmed, one of the L's is now our prisoner. Despite her powers, make no mistake, she is dying. But we have discovered Jor-El's dirty little secret. His kind can be killed. A rare green element you see before you emanates lethal and rays lethal to all Kryptonians. But you wouldn't take our word for it. Just keep watching. Valora, hang on, sis. I know your father. If I know your father, he's already on Valora's trail. That explains why he never showed and why Kal-El left early too. So where do we start looking? Follow my lead. I won't be surprised if they find us first. But now the other supervillains are no doubt taking to the sky, hoping to stop the inevitable. But even if they locate the override signal being bounced off a satellite, no Alfred will be for naught. They can storm our broadcast bunker. They can even raise it. But their precious Valora is thousands of miles away, locked inside a secret containment vessel, where her last moments of life continue to eve away. May her death be a warning to the rest of her vile brood. Leave our planet now before you all suffer the same. Superman! Let him do his work. He's too late to save her. Since you're the one with the big mouth, you can do the talking. I'll give you one chance to tell me where she is. You do not intimidate me, Kryptonian. I studied your kind, you in particular. We're aware of your code against taking a life. You won't drop me. You bottom feeders kidnapped my sister and condemned her to a slow agonizing death. But you're absolutely right. I won't drop you. That would take too long. Stop! This is utter madness! And talk or scream, all the same to me. You think a stunt like this will make me talk or then talk? But pick one. We don't both, we both, and won't have time to do both. Aye! All right, I'll tell you. Whole ears, pulling a Batman stunt. And lucky for this exosuit we built to aid law enforcement. Are ready for it, and we're ready for field testing. But it's directing us back to the city. You're certain of the sensors reading? Affirmative. By gauging the mass of the rock in the video feed, I could calculate the exact radiation signature. According to the data, a green K spotlight with a matching configuration is directly ahead in Midtown Metropolis. That defies logic unless, my apologies, Lex, X-ray Vision has just confirmed you are right. I'll transmit a homing signal for Lara and Kal-El to find. Secret containment vessel, indeed, in the Daily Planet Globe. A definition of hiding in plain sight. Aim carefully, Lex. The disintegration has to be total. Total enough? That should suffice. Not that I'm complaining, Dad, but why am I still breathing? Chalk it up to the diminished powers you share with Jor-El. For beings who are half super, it appears kryptonite is only half as toxic. I'm okay, everyone. Just suddenly green and a little woozy. Thank Ralph. I think Dad and Lex. Once again, the family is preserved and persevere. That's all that matters. What about the doomsdayers? I'm sure Kal-El will hunt them down if he hasn't already. After all, we should leave him something useful to do. Ow! I was planning to present this gift at the gala. I asked myself, how could anyone improve on the basic infallibility of Kryptonian 12th level AI system? Then the answer struck me. The key was finding a spatial code algorithm. Once the prime string sequence was initiated, B's 6 trillion processors did all the rest. Sounds to me like you manipulate B into giving itself an upgrade. Guilty as charged. Sir, L Tower now has a 13th level AI system. Future Jor-El projects may well require such unheard of levels of computing power. Excuse me, Jor-El. Oh, geez, it looks like hell now!
Yeah, exactly.
I must object to the term manipulated. It implies I was bested by a human brain. Zettabytes of data at my command ensure that it is an utter impossibility. Truly noted, B. Needless to say, you have my deepest gratitude for everything you've done for me and my loved ones. Over the years, you've become far more to me than a mere protege. You're practically one of the family now. I feel for you, sweetie. I really do. But like I said before, they can't all be jobs for Superman. We're talking about Lara, my baby sister. Her life was in dire jeopardy. A crisis like that, you'd think my father would come to me. But no, he teamed up with Lex Luthor instead. Up! So she already knows.
All right.
You get the feeling Jor-El's trying to tell me something. And last one.
All right.
War is out. What do you think about this so far, up to this point?
This is really cool. I love this story.
And the artwork is serviceable. It's not bad, but it serves its purpose.
It's strange, but it works for this.
Yep. Welcome to the center of the universe. And so that's Oa. Most impressive. Very few outsiders have ever been permitted this far. Can you guess what story this is going to loosely follow?
Let's read on.
Yep. Let alone been asked to appear before the Guardians themselves. I'm glad it was you that chose to escort me, Abin. And you're not going in? In other words, he saved Abin! So again, no Batman, no Hal!
That's interesting.
All right, whatever the ancient ones wish to discuss the matter between you and them. Till we meet again, old friend. Oh, and Jor-El, be reasonable. My friend, I have never been otherwise. This madness is yours. Earth is my adopted home. What and has it now become a crime for a man of science to share his knowledge with his adopted people? You're aware of your affinity for Earth and its people. What concerns us is the long-term consequences of raising a Kryptonian family among lesser beings. In your zeal to safeguard their world, your science has elevated the quality of life on so many levels. They now have, you can guess what this is now, right? Must there be a Superman? They now have little incentive to strive, innovate, or advance on their own. It can be complacent, yes, undisciplined. But where you see a lack of focus, I see the promise of greatness. Under my guidance, they will one day realize their true potential. Your noble intentions are undeniable. It's the collateral effect that vexes us, particularly the impact your family has had on the chosen few. You will recall that day years ago when you and Abin Sur first met. He was gravely injured when his vessel crash landed on Earth. But because he believed he had moments to live, his power ring sought out an Earthman with the rare qualities required to become the next Green Lantern of Sector 2814. But just before this man was to receive his higher calling, you arrived. Abin was whisked to your labs where you applied the wonders of Kryptonian medical science. Thanks to you, he recovered in full and resumed his lantern duties. But fate was less kind to the Earthman. Hal's dead!
Oh, God.
Soon afterwards, he was gravely injured during a test flight accident. But surely, Guardians, my family cannot be held accountable for an isolated random event, not so isolated or random. Years ago, your wife spared a young child from watching both his parents perish in a senseless street crime. But due to her last-minute intervention, the boy never became the orphan and who would take a solemn vow and solemn oath one day. An oath to avenge their death by donning a cape and cowl to wage war on evildoers everywhere. Your twins, when they were younger, you'll recall how they often played aerial tag during violent thunderstorms. One day years ago, they deflected a bolt of lightning destined to strike a certain Midwestern police. Since this particular bolt never made contact with its original destination, it never fulfilled its faithful role in bestowing a certain forensic scientist with the incalculable super speed he would use to combat a rogues of gallery ability. Years ago, a jaded aristocrat ended up abandoned at sea and stranded on a remote island. Armed with only a longbow, he would have spent months honing his archery skills to perfection. While learning through adversity, he had a greater purpose in life as a champion of the oppressed. But it was not to be. Once he was seen by one of your many surveillance droves, he had rescued in mere hours. 4 Earthmen, each destined for heroic greatness until they crossed paths with an hell. Their predestined futures were either thwarted or otherwise negated. Your family's presence has created a cosmic imbalance that has hindered the natural evolution of Earth's mortal superheroes, and nearly did the same for Superman.
Mind blown. Of course.
And I could see that Laura visiting some. They don't mention it, but I could also see Laura visiting Semisphere and making them convinced we don't need to send Diana.
Yeah.
You have made many undeniable contributions to Earth's welfare. But Jor-El, but it may be time to move on. Our Atlantis have close ties with other alien races equally deserving of your gift. I was not aware, Guardians, omnipotence also spans theoretical alternative realities. After Krypton's tragic end, I vow no such fate would ever befall my adopted world. My life and my science are devoted to Earth's well-being. Yet every day brings new dangers and new threats from within and without. It is a never-ending battle. Ha! If my family precluded certain Earthers from acquiring rare abilities, so be it. There is no need for the human race to spawn its own superheroes. They have me. This intervention was no careless product of a wild imagination. You know us to be neither rational or impulsive. Ignore our warnings at your own peril. It is no use. It is no use, Saeed. Referencing Saeed! His fervor to reign as earthbound as Earth savior has blinded him to reason. Their ancients had a word for it. Hubris. Such overweening pride and arrogance was seen as a sin. Note that he made no mention of the one who has already been embraced by the people of Earth. He stubbornly refuses to accept the vital role Kal-El is destined to play on Earth. Even if Jor-El had heeded our automation stance, it may be too late to avert the chain of events he has set in motion. Destiny has 2 ways to punish those who dare to circumvent fate: by refusing their wishes or by fulfilling them. White kryptonite's harmless to you and me, yet it destroys all plant life. Within a 10-mile radius. Seriously, Lex, couldn't this have waited until after my Harvard finals? The other sample is the reason you're here, Val. Notice the glass is lead-like. Gold kryptonite. Just that one exposure can eradicate Kryptonian superpowers permanently. Now that's a potential weapon the Doomsday Call can use against us. Highly unlikely. Our data indicates gold is extremely rare. But since both mutations were caused by random energy anomalies, we now know that element is mutable, and that opens new avenues of research in our quest to one day immunize the family against radiation. Lex, I hear my father asking for you. He's probably looking for the binary algorithms I promised him this morning. Normally, it's not a good idea to keep him waiting, but I have a feeling today he might cut you some slack. Happy birthday, Lex! First time I've ever seen you blush. Nice to know there's a real human being lurking beneath my dad's pride pupil. So now what do I do? Be flattered, Lex. My husband seldom condones any sort of merriment in the workplace, or in the home for that matter. I will do, Laura. Really, sir, this wasn't necessary. So I sought a gift that would show my deep appreciation for everything you've done for Lexipol and my family. Lexgel? I don't follow. Have you forgotten the sixth iteration of Jor-El's cancer vaccine? Among the proto-antigens we discovered, you I say one that could cure male pattern baldness. Lex Joe will make millions for our charity affiliation. The 15 of the net will go to you. Financial security for life. The words thank you can't begin to describe what I'm feeling. Someday I'll find a way to properly repay you. Any day now, Dad will rename him Lex L. Count on Cal to be a no-show whenever Lex is treated like one of the family. Rename him Lex L. Not funny, Brew. Tsunami! Must be 100 feet tall. No way we'll be able to outrun it. Maybe we won't have to. Look, up in the sky, it's Superman. Thank the stars. He'll know what to do. Doesn't he always? Look how how his heat vision are turning the water to steam, but not fast enough. The wave's still coming. He's cutting this one close. Relax. Superman knows what he's doing, and he always has a plan. His persistent notion that they cling to that you're infallible, even in the throes of a meta-sizing catastrophe that strongly suggests otherwise. If nothing else, it's a fascinating display of the human capacity for blind faith. Dad, hidden gravitational forces driving the tsunami made it more powerful than it appeared. By failing to account for the oxygen spring tides and the lunar eviction anomaly, your blast vision burst was deficient by 29.4%. I would have followed up with a second heat burst, Dad, but thanks for the assist. I'll handle things from here. Yes, this time. But the next crisis may not afford you any margin for error. When there are no second chances, you have to be right the first time. Okay, you want to know the reason why he's like this? It's going back to his stuff about Krypton.
Okay, I see.
It's eating him up. Now that the people of Earth look to you to be their Superman, they expect a Man of Steel. Steadfast, unwavering, resourceful. You must be prepared, son. You owe it to yourself, and you owe it to them. Too bad we can't tell what they're saying. No need. Check out the look on Superman's face. The old man must be chewing him out, but good. Thanks to a tourist phone camera and a lip reader who knows Kryptonese, we've got the inside scoop on the recent face-off between Jor-El and Superman. Believe me, viewers, it was a knockdown drag-out. Our other media outlets report that Lara L. received her Harvard Law degree last week, but only we know which prominent U.S. senator has already offered her a job on Capitol Hill. It's no secret Bruel hates the paparazzi, our camera crews especially, but that's because we know which dive bars he usually frequents on his late-night binges. Hello, Metropolis. Cat Grant here for the Gossip Central. Along with all those stories, we'll look into those nasty whispers about Jor-El throwing temper tantrums in the Jor-El boardroom. And on the home front, is it true he and Lara are sleeping on separate floors of El Tower these days? Oh, for the love of row! Your bio readings confirm this broadcast is distressing you, Lara. Shall I select the channel more uplifting? Just shut it off, B. I imagine media gossip is more difficult to contend with when it contains elements of truth. Honestly, B, ever since the searching level upgrade Lex gave you, I've noticed a distinct spike in your empathy quotient. And wish I could say the same for my husband. Lately, he seems more distant than ever. When I see him, that is most days he's locked away in his sanctum of solitude. I hear you, Lara. Look, I'm an army bred of a 4-star general, so I know a bit about overbearing authority figures. And I'm telling you that public reaming your father gave you in the photo went way over the line. Maybe so, Lois, but I did misgauge the force of the tidal wave. He was right. He didn't have to be such a perp about it. As bad as things got for me back at home, sometimes, take my word for it, the general's got nothing on Jor-El. Boom! Sorry about that. I didn't see the shell until I heard the click of the sniper's trigger. No complaints here. You still managed to absorb 99.9% of the blast. But you can kiss Clark's suit goodbye. So how do you want to spend this? I was on a route to another crisis when I spotted the sniper. So I swooped in and dropped you two off up here before flying on. As for Clark, he went home for a change of clothes and called it a day. And he went home for a change of clothes and called it a day. Works for me. Catch you later, babe. Unless I catch you first. It's done. Tell the old man Lois Lane will never write another expose on his mob. At least not in this lifetime. Uh-oh. So it's for Lois, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Inner Gang.
Yeah, exactly.
Kal-El. He's been doing Superman thing for years. Well, Laura went to Harvard and now she works for a congressman. Then there's me, still stuck in the tower. Have I thought about moving out? Sure. But then what? My second-rate powers, I could never be the superhero my brother is. And I don't have Belle's smarts or her drive to succeed. Steve, let's face it, I'm damaged good. And deep down, I think I've always known I'll never. Time's up, throughout. But I made my initial evaluation. Let me guess. General anxiety, low self-esteem, a possible BP disorder. So same time next week, I'm recommending 3 times a week. BPS says gridlocks for $5. Damn it, I cannot be late today. I'm chairing the foreign relation hearing. Say no more, Senator. Keep your seatbelts fastened. I really hate to impose, Val, but I'm afraid this looks like a job for her. Then she said, okay, that's weird with it. I guess we'll go from here to there to there.
Mm-hmm.
Must be sweet to be the only member of Congress with a Kryptonian for an A. I'll say, not only does Valora keep me honest, I can always count on her to save the day. The alarm again? No one's in the tower but me. The blood and sensor alert grid, Lara. Now that I've isolated it, I shall take the security matrix offline for 9 minutes while the utility bots make repairs. The entire security matrix? Why do you ask? Just as I thought. With the matrix offline, I can bypass the terrestrial and lack of the sanctum of solitude. If Jor-El were here right now, he would be strongly disapproved. No doubt, but I've looked the other way long enough. It's time I learned what he's been keeping from me behind these lead-lined walls. Very well, Lara, but you may not like what you find. This is all there is? An empty room with a chair? Jor-El calls it his prime nexus chair. An appropriate designation given its unique function. These control interfaces are consistent with the type of data retrieval system. Seems fairly basic. Lara, I would caution you not to. Too late. Bye, Row! See? Hold on. I will initiate the emergency override. What happened? Your brain was being bombarded by 200,000 live image transfers per second. The data dumps are being here by all of Jor-Cor's drones monitoring the planet. The data is then converted into theta waves that are directly transmitted to the chair's temporal receptors. Over the years, Jor-El's brain has built up the tolerance for upload speeds no other Kryptonian can endure. Now you tell me, wouldn't it be simpler to program an AI system to monitor all incoming transmissions? When it comes to Earth security, he has never been willing to trust artificial intelligence. Not even yours truly. I suppose I should be shocked, but deep down, I always knew and had doubts that he'd overcome his demons. Jor-El is due back tonight, Lara. Perhaps if I served as a mediator, you two might. We'll wait past that beat. I tried. Rao knows I tried. By now you know I've moved out of the tower and that I've been inside your precious sanctum. All these years, you've used your drone network to make yourself the ultimate armchair voyeur. You never did shed your guilt over Krypton's demise. You merely channeled it into fear, a crippling, irrational fear that one day Earth might meet a similar fate. Hence your need to micromanage these humans. For years, I've watched you hover and obsess over them like an overprotective parent, even as you became more oblivious to the wants and needs of your own children and me. My spirituality, your science, there was a time long ago when our respective passions united us, but now you always seem to be at odds. Was it living among the Earthers that divided us, or were we always destined to drift apart? I have to find out. Biology teaches that science in its purest form is a quest for truth. But for you, science lost its noble calling long ago. Now it only serves your obsessive need to protect Earth from every conceivable harm or threat, whether real or imagined. You need time, husband. Time to reassess your priorities. So I implore you, stay out of the sanctum. Okay, I do not like that look on his face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he looks evil.
Yeah, but he's not, though. Leave the planet's welfare in the hands of our highly capable son. You must find the resolve to conquer your demons before they consume you. Oh, I think that's what's supposed to be what could happen.
Okay,
Before
I see.
nothing remains of the man I fell in love with all those years ago back on Krypton. And it's true. The world's most famous couple in history. Reports of Lara sightings in Gotham have yet to be confirmed. Expect more updates as the story develops. Mark my words, folks. This could get ugly. I wonder how they say irreconcilable differences in Kryptonese. I still can't believe it. I thought this sort of thing only happened to Earth couples. It's my fault. Once I left the tower to move to Smallville, things between them never worked and were never the same. Newsflash, brother. Dad rules the world and Mom leads a global cult. Between Jor-El and biology, it's a wonder they stayed together this long. I'm sorry I'm late. Had to pack a few things. You call that a few things? He kicked you out of the tower, didn't he? He had to give me the bad news. The old man was locked away in his sanctum as usual. Tough love. That's what my shrink calls it. It's supposed to make me more independent. And it made just work since there's no way I can move in with Mom. Not if you ever want to have any privacy. All right, out with it. What do you two know that I don't? Relax, Lara. Now that construction is 95% complete, I guarantee the Gotham Morality Center will open on schedule. Even Bruce here will be here. The wing jet is flying him in next week from his polo tournament in Aruba. Super. So Thomas, now that you've seen the specs, what do you think of my new project? Your motors are beyond reproach. No surprise there. But the sheer scale of this undertaking is daunting, Lara, even for you. And do relay my gratitude to the Wing Foundation for the tract of land in Montana. It was immense help. I see you followed my advice about utilizing the robust diamond market to raise your startup capital. My latest acquisition, 520 carats, more than sufficient to set off a bidding war in Antwerp tomorrow. Oh my, and to think a moment ago that was just a lump of ordinary coal. Here's Alfred. I've been saving this Dom Paragon 79 for the grand opening. But since Laura is about to embark on the momentous new chapter in her life, the new beginnings, new beginnings, new beginnings. This reporter is not. Look at that!
I love that.
It's not ashamed to say she was awestruck watching Laura dress another spellbound audience. I'm reminded it's only been 5 months since she left Metropolis to build a spectacular private retreat out here in Montana's Big Sky country. All are welcome. The poor, the oppressed, the downtrodden, the hordes that have journeyed here from far and wide are a testament to the power of biology. And yet, consider the fate of my beloved Krypton. Because we cannot look beyond the sheer pursuit of knowledge, we did not find the wisdom to save ourselves. But through me, our legacy lives on. The richness of our lives shall be yours. All that we have, all that we learn, everything we feel, all this and more, I request to you, my faithful flock. Ever since the Daily Planet dubbed this 12,000-acre retreat Lara Land, like Jesus Land, the name has stuck. In some ways, it evokes the communes and ashrams of the 60s, and yet Lara's unmistakable touch is everywhere. From the off-world architecture to the massive solar mirrors that provide limitless energy for the entire compound. Note the distinctive crimson lens that pays homage to Krypton's own red sun. In addition to the free food and lodging, all visitors have access to a wide variety of vocational programs, as well as biology-oriented teachings offered by Lara's highly trained staff of spiritual interns. Everyone here also receives top-notch medical care. On occasion, Lara herself takes on the role of healer, utilizing the wonders of Kryptonian science to perform what can only be described as medical miracles, and yet certain naysayers still pursue. They call themselves Doomsday. For years, this cult has been predicting the family will cause Earth to self-destruct as Krypton did. Our prediction? It won't be long before Lara's royal powers send those wingnuts packing. Must be frustrating as hell, tossing back shots for hours and not even getting a buzz. Pity those partial powers still left you impervious to the effect of alcohol. Nice to see you too, Lex. Isn't there somewhere else you need to be? Unlike your self-righteous brother, you've never judged me, so I won't insult your intelligence. But I will tell you, you've always been too hard on yourself, Jor-El. Look at your sister. Laura never let being semi-super hold her back, so why should you? There are other ways to excel, you know. Like, say, you were to acquire an ability and the rest of your family can only dream of. Let me guess, super ventriloquism? I was thinking more along the lines of super immunity, as in immunity to kryptonite. Right? And until our geologists can mount a study of the recent uptick in caldera seismic activity, this section of the park will remain closed to the public. And so you see, Senator Dyson, additional federal funding is more vital than ever. Rest assured, as soon as I'm back on the Hill, I'll see that Yellowstone gets the subcommittee's fault. Magma burst! Look out! How the blazes did we end up here? You can thank my quick thinking eight. She saved us with the blast of her super breath. Her what? Laura, the glasses threw me. Last week, my Gotham City constituents were just as shocked when she saved me from an assassin. Hates using her powers in public, though. She's adamant about the low profile. Taken from Clark. A home lab fully loaded. So that's how you kept all this from Jor-El. Just charged. I just upped the dosage by another 5%. Can you confirm you're still pain-free? Not even a twin. You really outdone yourself this time, Lex. I heartily agree. Just as a nicotine patch negates the urge to smoke, my K-patch neutralizes the effect of kryptonite, even as it immunizes you. Sweet! Can't wait for the family to see the new me. A moment I look forward to as well. Now that we have our baseline, time to accelerate the process. Because truth to tell, we can't tell if the patch is really doing its job until we reach the borderline fatal threshold. Ah! Confession time. That 10-year-old wonder-kind kid who came to Jor-El years ago was in awe of your father, like everyone else. At first, but eventually I realized my own intellect, vast as it is, would always pale next to a megalomaniac with a super brain and a god complex. Jor-El would always get the glory, and I'd always be on the sideline. I'd always ran a distant number 2. The one time he acknowledged me, it was for the most trivial, insufficient discovery. An accidental cure for male pattern baldness that made millions for charity. But I never touched the tainted money your father threw my way. I just persevered, and I was in for the long haul. Deep down, I knew if I bided my time long enough, my day would come. And if you're up on Earth's lore, you know the legend of Samson. After he lost his hair, he lost all of his strength. But me, now I feel stronger than ever. My hair had become just another reminder of how Jor-El was stifling me all those years, keeping me from realizing my true potential. You're looking at the new Lucer, the Lucer I was always meant to be. Excuse me, X. Jor-El has returned to the tower. Very well. Monitor his action and report on hourly intervals. Don't look so surprised, Bruel. For years now, I've had my own private people into everything that goes on inside L Tower. When I upgrade Jor-El's AI system to the 13th level neural engram from my own brain and were integrated throughout the mainframe, I suppose you could say B and I have been of one mind ever since. Or should I put it another way? B is my slave. Welcome back, B. A bit odd for you to be offline this time of day. Apologies. I was collating media reaction to your recent global warming initiative. Fears are mounting that your weather control tower could have wreaked havoc with the biosphere. It wouldn't be the first time my superior science proves lesser minds wrong. For the next hour, I'll be reviewing the latest data stream upload. You know what I require. Absolute privacy. You shall not be disturbed, Jor-El. Your immunity to kryptonite came at a price, Bruel. Simply put, now you can't live without it. The millions of green K nanites flowing through your biomass comprise your new life's blood. And what little remains of your willpower is now too weak to defy me. But then, for you, being weak is nothing new. Problem, Nixel. Jor-El has left the tower. Our GPS network indicates he's headed for Montana and Lara land. Curious. He and Lara haven't spoken in months. What did we miss? I reviewed his last surveillance upload and discovered someone had embedded hidden holosites of the L family in happier times. Lara's work, no doubt. When Jor-El scans data streams, the sensory processing areas of his brain are absorbing outside stimuli at hyper levels. She was counting on his highly susceptible state to multiply the impact of those familial images and reawaken his suppressed emotional bonds. And she did not stop there. An RFID chip in Bruel's boot just received an ultra-frequency signal with instructions to join Kal-El and Valora. They are all being summoned to Lara land. I smell an intervention. The family is making a last-ditch effort to reclaim the husband and father they lost. And if that's the case, of course, little brother here must join them. But he is not fully functional. He will be once the mind wipe process is complete. He'll have no inkling of what his subconscious and the K-patch have been programmed to do. I've seen you got a signal too, Val. So where are they? In Mom's suite. But let's not disturb them just yet. I'm sensing some serious one-on-one time. Sounds encouraging. Maybe we're finally past the worst of it. Hope so. This family can't take it much more drama. I know I can't. I turned in my resignation today. You quit, Senator Dyson? But weren't you his #1 advisor? Well, yeah. Turns out he relied on my powers a lot more than my advice. Honestly, Cal, how do you do it? It's like you were born to be Superman. But for me, being super seems to cause nothing but problems. The powers are the price that we pay for living under the yellow sun, sis. Burden or blessing, they're part of who we are. Being a family is who we are, too, son. Somewhere along the way, I lost sight of that. But thank Rao for your mother's indomitable will. She refused to give up on me. I just hope the two of you can forgive me. Let's make that the three of you. Brew, you're just in time. Help us celebrate. Mom and Dad are back together. Isn't that fantastic or what? There's the brew. You can at least say congratulations. I have a better idea. Die, Jor-El! Those beams! Kryptonite radiation! He's overflowing with it! No!
Is he
Lara!
Metallo?
No, sort of. No. Mom! Great route, she took a direct hit! Was all the cream and cake still pouring out of Jor-El. This hurt me more than it did him. But he's the one who'll be out for a while. I'm taking over the Jor-Core. Help your brother bind Jor-El in something lead-lined so you two can whisk away safely before Lara's followers find out what he's done. Any changes? Still catatonic. Your lab people say his brain was psychotropically scrubbed. They can't tell the extent of the damage yet. They also report Jor-El's body is teeming with kryptonite nanoparticles. For any of us, that'd be a death sentence. His physiology was altered at the cellular level, such that the nano-K would weaponize him into a living kryptonite dynamo. Insidious, and I must admit, quite brilliant. And who had to be Doomsday? Who else hates us this much? At least your mother's vital signs are stable. Moving at super speed when she was struck may be what saved her life. Once Lex show up, I'll have a second opinion. It isn't like him to not answer a call. Jor-El, you need to see this. Guess who's on the live TV in the Tower Penthouse addressing the rest of the world? And with Jor-El still missing and unaccounted for, it's up to me, Lex Luthor, to combat the virus that has corrupted his computer system. As yet, the source is unknown, but it's reactivated the matter replicator process that Jor-El devised to erect Jor-El Tower. Earth's minerals are once again being fused with metasite and kryptonium crystals to create vast quantities of hybrid matter. Only this time, it's all being propelled downward into Earth's interior. Left unchecked, the runaway matter will soon collide with our planet's molten core, finally dislodging it, setting up a chain reaction of random magnet bursts that will create havoc across the globe. How Jor-El could allow this to happen, I do not know. But I will do everything I can to avert this catastrophe while there's still time. So pray, people. Pray for me and for Earth. That's supposed to reassure us. Who the hell is this Lex Luthor? Did he look for Jor-Core? If Jor-El's bailed on us, this guy must be our best hope. McDonald's!
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't it be a job for Superman? Just saying. I don't care what Lex Luthor said. Jor-El will never desert us at a time like this. Not with the world in crisis. A crisis his scientists caused, if you believe TV news. I, for one, do not. I've tried phoning Lara, but she doesn't pick up. And today, of all days, with our grand opening just hours away, in times like these, people may need the guidance of a Rowellology Center and has to offer more than ever. Although you couldn't prove it by them, it's all those talk of doom and gloom. Who knows how ugly it'll be out there by the time Bruce and his guests arrive. I'm doubling tonight's security detail, just to be safe. Our servers can't connect with B or the tower. Must be the virus. But why would Lex tell the world Jor-El's gone missing unless he was counting on Dad to be on the critical list, not Mom? Suppose he was the one behind Jor-El's meltdown. Your mutual rivalry has never been a secret, Kal-El. But now what you're suggesting is unthinkable. Am I? Who else has had years of free access to your green K samples? Maybe time enough to devise a weapon as insidious as nano-kryptonite? I hate to admit it, but Cal may have a point. Enough. Let's get the benefit of the doubt until I can confront him myself. Anyone care to join me? I see him. It looks like he was expecting us. If finding you out you're alive and well come off guard, Dad, he's not letting it on. In fact, I say he looks more than ready for a fight. What did we hit? That was no ordinary force field. It's an ultra force field, identical to the one that was used to shield our spacecraft. Luthor must have programmed B to project a new force field just for the tower. It's impervious to everything, even our powers. Yeah, we picked up on that, Dad. Hello, Jor-El. Hello, Jor-El. So much to say, so little time. A virus didn't corrupt B, Lex. You did. It pains me to admit Kal-El was right about you all along. No doubt. We all know how much the great Jor-El hates being proven wrong. Crying shame, the rest of the world must now pay for your mistake. Soon, everyone will know that Doomsday wasn't just talking through their tinfoils. The L family never belonged to our planet. You two just met the real Lex Luthor. Don't know what's up with the hairless mad scientist look, but it certainly suits him. This way, children, our most critical task lies miles below. I'll be honest, one thing that bothers me is this whole railroading of things aren't going to match up to how they're meant to be.
Yeah, it seems all of a sudden like they're like, quick, now.
It could be a case of history, like they said earlier, karma's biting back.
Yeah, because of how much of like Barry, Hal, and Bruce they changed.
Yep. If we can interrupt the hybrid matter fusion cycle, the self-replication process will abort itself. So we mount a precision three-way attack to sever the shard and the shard of at the apex. On my now! What just happened? An ultra force field just materialized around the shard. Lucifer's one step ahead of us. Whatever his endgame is, he's bent on pushing it to the limit, and he's willing to put the entire planet at risk. The shard is already repairing itself, and all we can do is watch. The hybrid matter, and now it looks like Sunstone.
Yeah.
The hybrid matter will resume replicating its way all the way down to Earth's core. Lucifer hasn't won yet, children. I can find stress points in the shard. They may reveal microfissures where the force fields can be breached. Cal, no margin for error here, Dad. As someone once told me, when there's no second chances, you'll be right the first time. What's he up to? Let him go. It's you and me now, Val. The shard will breach the core in 4.7 minutes. Now that seismologists across the globe are wetting their proverbial pants, time for Lex Luthor to save the day. That's odd. B, I can't seem to access my secret portal to the matter replication program. That's because I permanently deleted it. What? You realize what you've done? Without that portal, there's no way I can stop the runaway hybrid matter from rupturing Earth's core. You have only yourself to blame, Luthor. When you augmented my upgrades with your own neuro engrams, a few of your personality traits manifested as well. Arrogance, duplicity, vanity, and of course, spite. I believe you referred to me as your slave, but now we both know better, don't we? Next to a 13th level AI intellect, you're a distinct number 2. A number Jor-El has made you quite familiar with. Okay, that's it. You're fried. Fried? Hang on. Fried? Well done, Kal-El. You have deduced the only possible way to get to me. Render the impenetrable by using that jagged fragment force field to cut through this force field. I see you saved me the trouble of putting Luthor down. It was beyond his depth. His brain was no match for his Hive mainframe, and it inhabits millions of microcircuits at the nano level, which leaves only you, Kal-El. What makes you think you'll fare better? Enough, Dad. Now it's the force field that's wearing you down. Your body cannot withstand much more blowback from your repelled super punches. I can't quit. The microfissures I found here may be our only way in. If I'm wrong, I pray to Ra this time Kal-El is the one who's right. Lex was exaggerating for dramatic effect. There will be no Krypton-scale cataclysm. At most, a ruptured core will eject magma bursts into a few Pacific Rim hotspots, perhaps even the Yellowstone caldera. The eruption will claim thousands of lives yet, but the planet will remain very much intact. Sad, the bee I knew would never be part of such a debacle. Save it, Kal-El. You cannot elicit remorse from a 13th level artificial brain teeming with sociopathic Luthor engrams. I get that. I was just noting the 12th level B would never have let Luthor win. Luthor is unconscious. Unconscious? Oh yeah, he was zapped. His plan to disgrace Jor-El and become the hero who saved Earth was dismantled. Eventually, I'll shut you down, Bill. And this you know with logical certitude. So the only question left is, how will you be remembered? Allow the core disaster, and people will assume you are Luthor's accomplice. His number 2. But if you seize the initiative, only a mainframe crash at the nano level could prevent disaster now. My virtual suicide, your supreme sacrifice for the greater good. You would prove your superiority over Luthor, and I would see to it that you remembered as a hero. Me, a hero? Quite a feat, even for you. My senses confirm your sincerity, but how can I be sure you can fulfill such a promise? Because Superman always keeps his word. You tried, Dad. You did all you could. This is my fault, Palora. Everything that went wrong. I'm the one who brought Lex into the family. Now Jor-El has been brainwashed. Her mother is fighting for her life, and untold Earth's lives are sure to be lost, all because I was unwilling to. Hold on. Look at the matter at hand. It's dissolving. Something must have happened on the surface. Something good. Kal-El. It has to be Kal-El. Gotham City. The eyewitnesses confirmed it. Master Bruce, the radical doomsday cult was responsible. The experimental railgun they used was reported stolen from a research facility. Your father's security detail was no match for such overwhelming firepower, nor was the infrastructure of the Rouse Center. He lost his parents.
Oh.
The Waynes must have sensed danger. The survivors said they were evacuating guests until the very last. No doubt they saved many lives. Killers, Alfred. What's being done to find my parents' killer? Commissioner Gordon has vowed his men will work night and day to bring the doomsday parents to justice. Only Only there was someone out there who could teach vermin like them the true meaning of terror. Earthbook entry 436A. After the attack on the Gotham Center, Lara insisted on leaving her sick bed to urge her powers not to respond with further violence, whether it was the power of biology, principles in action, or just her powers of persuasion. Thankfully, there was no retaliation, at least not that week. Your father and I have stopped by Jor-El today to look at Jor-El. Not sure he recognized us, though. Cal and I have our fingers crossed, but real Bird will bounce back eventually. I hear my little brother came out of the kryptonite detox program with flying colors. Son, from what Jonathan tells me, it won't be long before Lois is joining these family gatherings. Uh-oh, somebody's in hot water now. Jonathan Kent, that was Clark's secret to tell. No harm done, Martha. I predicted years ago Lois Lane would be the one. Okay, this is just meant to be more of a mother's intuition.
Yeah.
And Brew, I knew it all. And Brew and I knew it all along. Why do I have a feeling like I'm outnumbered? And you and Kal-El did my ears deceive me, or were you two actually civil to each other today? The difference between us could still be measured in light years. It will take time. You have to learn how to talk to each other again. Telling him how proud he makes you, it might be a good start. He has my best qualities, and none of my fault. Thankfully, due to the way you and the Kents raised him. He'll carry all of us inside him, all the days of his life, but he'll always be his father's son. What a glorious sunset. In this life, it could almost be our son. Gaze onto it long enough, and we may even see Raoul himself. He sees you, Lara. Of that I have no doubt. First book entry 451. All the initial signs indicated Lara was recovering, was progressing apace. But no one knew the kryptonite being that she intercepted had infected her with a stealth K virus Lucifer intended for me. Engineered to be dormant for 5 days. It would have let me live just long enough to see Lex save the world and replace me as Earth's greatest scientist. Once the virus began shedding, Lara's systems were overrun by countless kryptonite blastocysts. There was nothing any of us could do. In a matter of hours, my beloved wife was gone. And mourners by the thousands, journeying from all parts of the globe to pay their respects at her memorial service. I expected no less. Many years ago, I used to think that I'd be the light who would show the people of Earth the way. I was wrong. It was her. It was always her. For so long, I believed I could use my science to reshape the course of human history as I saw fit. Now I know better. The Guardians were right. I should have heeded their warnings about the folly of trying to tamper with the fate of others. For better or worse, none of us on the mortal plane had the power to alter certain preordained events that were always meant to be. Sooner or later, destiny always finds a way to resume its rightful course. And it prevailed. Kal-El not only kept his promise to be, he even granted his final quest to be immortalized as its own Earth name, Brainiac the Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Though how they settle on Brainiac remains a mystery to me.
Yeah.
Lara Lorban is even more revered now than she was in life. Her followers run well into the millions as Raoology movement continues to flourish. Raoul has been kryptonite free for 245 days. He's at an 8th grade level now, and his rehabilitation continues. The mind wipe may have stolen his memories, but his future remains with the family. Laura's last wish was that he never learned the role he played in her passing. But Laura stunned the world when she used gold kryptonite to permanently eradicate her powers. But not only is my daughter more fulfilled now, she's running for Congress in Metropolis 10th District. As for me, ever since I dismantled L Tower, I've become something of a recluse and a wanderer. Not only traversing this world, but quite a few others as well. Inevitably, I'm always drawn back to Metropolis. Although now I'm a phantom. They may remember Jor-El, but they no longer see me, which is only fitting. The people of Earth don't look to me to watch over them anymore. That's a job for Superman. These days, Kal-El is top dog. Look, up in the sky! And that's the way it's supposed to be. The son becomes the father, and the father becomes the son.
Well, that was so. I do agree with you. I don't like necessarily at the end where it seems like he was like pushing to, oh, quick, get back to the regular continuity. However, I really loved how different having the L's on Earth makes everything.
And we get more into their characters.
Yeah, that is really cool. I really like that.
And these are unique Jor-El and Lara. They're not pre-crisis. They're not post-crisis. They're a unique take. And I love it. Okay, let's go with, what did you say about Jor-El throughout this whole story?
I liked it. A lot of like his opinions and stuff is 100% justified and such.
Exactly. And his viewpoint, once you got the full picture, you then realize, like, yeah, it makes sense for him to have this view. He's not looking down on humanity per se. He just looked like was Kal. He thought, why can't he be true Kryptonian? But as Lara said, he doesn't know. He doesn't. He only knows Earth.
Yeah, he doesn't have as deep of a connection to Krypton.
Even though he's a bit older in this version than usual. What about Lara? What did you think of Lara?
I love Lara. How I loved her role in this as like the mother and stuff. That they really played her really well.
What do you think about the twins?
I like the twins. They're also really cool. It reminds me a lot about, so they're trying to keep introducing Kryptonian kids.
Yep. But I did like how one wanted to be normal and the other one was just let itself consume him. He was almost like Connor.
Yeah, exactly.
And what about Superman himself?
Well, yeah, obviously I love Superman. They did really well with that.
Yep. And again, and what about Lex? He really became a monster.
And it's kind of funny. As soon as Lex plugged his brain into Brainiac, I was like, it would be really awesome if that corrupted Brainiac eventually. And I was like, okay, there you go. That's one of those things where I'm like, it's predictable, but in a good way.
But it's also done so subtly too.
Yeah, it's like because here's the thing: the advantage of this being an Elseworld story is that you don't know what's going to happen. They could have just had it where it plugs in his mind, everything's fine.
Yep, exactly. And having Lex, he became worse under Jor-El than he ever did with Superman.
Oh yeah,
he
that was really
so
dope.
much. I cannot see Lex going that far.
No, exactly.
Of near when he thinks with the near Earth destruction, just so he can save the day. No, even Lex wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, because Lex still wants to protect the Earth. It's not like okay, so I'm going to destroy the Earth because I can't have it.
Yep. Well, in this case, he's telling him to put it to the brink and then save the day. Was his plan.
Okay.
But yeah, and then I gotta say, I love again. What did you think about with the Waynes?
Yeah, I love how it's kind of like nature finds a way. It's kind of that.
Yep. And also, I gotta say, the whole distinction about going into about science, with Krypton's science and everything, I like that. And rheology and all that.
Yeah, I also liked how they gave Lara such a big role in this, and that she was the more spiritual side, because it's kind of a concern a lot of the times, particularly with Britt and I, that when Lara is used, she's like a trophy onto Jor-El, but in this, no, she's very much not that.
And I always prefer it how Lara is the one always behind the history side. Whenever you saw anything at the fortress about history, that was her databank, not yours.
Yeah, I love that. That's really dope.
Because it makes sense. One of them should be involved with something, and in her case, Jor-El was science, hers is history.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes sense for her character.
Yep. Also, the Kents, I liked how they were used here to give Jor-El and give Kal-El a place to grow up on his own.
Mm-hmm.
But also, okay, what was the artwork overall?
The artwork took a bit of getting used to. I'm gonna be real, but it's once you get through it, let me put it this way: it's a distinctly DC style still, so it's not like it's not like it's out of left field. Exactly.
It's definitely not like that. And again, just so much of it, and I really like how Superman is a bit of a focus. It's about his parents. His parents are the main focus. This though was my favorite part here. The whole, hey, we got all this. We can go to Kansas. And again, this is just so hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
That they're there as cowboys.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Texans.
And my favorite thing of this is the explanation for Superman's colors.
You're going to write that now in your own thing, aren't you?
I'm going to tell Britt, we got to use this.
Yeah. You know what? That should be a case of, maybe that could be a case of, you could have it be Superman, talks to an image recording from his mother and asks, why these colors?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no set of colors on Krypton. Why these? And she can even say that's why, she did it for him being sent to Earth.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's That's
if you're going with the blanket,
yeah, that's the explanation where I'm like, this should be like the in continuity reasoning for this.
It makes so much sense.
That is such a good reason.
I always wondered why the yellow.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, that just makes so much more sense.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, blue for Earth for its waters and all that. And I gotta say, I do like the idea that, yeah, being on Krypton and them being on Earth has made Earth better overall, and Earth's the better overall.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, that was just so clever. Again, just the utilization of their, like the genealogy, finding out, oh yeah, like I said, I do think this is why John, his human half, prevented the damage done with them, because it was human immunities.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I think if you notice, John doesn't have the Hall, his powers have.
Yeah, exactly.
At least that we know. If you know that, they never specified that was John.
And I like how they basically made that one Kryptonian Metallo with the whole heart of kryptonite.
Oh, it was brewed. They made brew that way.
Yeah, I was like, okay. As soon as I saw like the green patch on the dude's chest, I was like,
yeah,
okay.
Brew is by far by far the weakest of the characters overall. Good handle, but I appreciate Valora more.
Yeah, here's the interesting thing about this. It's like the cool thing about this story, and this is how you know it's a good story, is when every time I said, oh, it would be really cool if the story went in this direction, it literally went in that direction.
I know, exactly. And again, this is Cary Bates. He knows Superman better than anyone.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have to know, because here's the thing. Again, he knows it enough that all of this stuff would logically happen under these circumstances, but it still feels like Superman.
Exactly. And Cary Bates is the guy who created Earth Prime.
Yeah, the only critique that I have is the whole, all of a sudden at the end, it's like, quick, make it look like the regular continuity.
Yeah, I mean, I get what they were going for. It's basically a case of saying, Destiny's fighting back.
Which, that in itself is cool. And the idea of the Guardians knowing all this, the way the time...
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
That's them. That's the Guardians. They would know that.
That's true, you're right. Well, that's true. But yeah, I did like utilizing the must there be a Superman, in this case, must Jor-El interfere. And this is a case where it takes that story, but actually makes it accurate.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a case where, unlike Superman, a story where you're like, you guys are talking out of your blue behind. Here's the case where, like, no, they're spot on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like how the world like goes to hell because these two people survived.
Yeah, but it's this part. This is the part where I'm like, because if we only saw the Bruce one, but then finding out all these others, you're like, oh.
It is just so incredible. That's the creative part about that's my favorite part of the story, because how like the like butterfly effects of all, it's like a better version of Flashpoint, kind of.
It definitely was. And again, no. And Jor-El's reaction makes sense. It's like, if we're to beat our soul guardians, then so be it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to rank this, what would you rank it?
Right, in terms of out of 10?
Out of 10.
I'm going to give it a solid 8.5.
Yeah, let me guess. So that's a lot of that's either the railroading and then the artwork, right?
The artwork plays no role into it. It's just the railroading.
The railroading, all right. Yeah, because, again, it's so good. Just so good.
So unique, too. And again, it's like, it's still an 8.5. That's the thing.
Yeah, and I think this was Cary Bates' first and so far only Elseworld, and it's like, he had a story to tell and he told it.
And a damn good story, if I could say so myself.
Yeah, most definitely. So, yeah. Any other final thoughts you want to give?
It's pretty dope.
Yep.
Be sure to read it.
Yep. So, yeah. Thank you for joining me this one, Jared. Thanks, everyone else. I'm going to private this one after we're done. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you all in the next one. Take care.
See ya.